Hi, I'm Dr. Morris, and on behalf of the Nursing 444 course faculty, I'd like to welcome you to Innovation in Nursing. To begin with, I'd like to give you an overview because one thing you're probably wondering is why do we have a class on innovation in a baccalaureate nursing program? And the reason for that is because over time, we've come to realize that nurses are well positioned to be innovators. We know the patient care experience, and we also know health systems probably better than almost any other profession. And with that, for many years, nurses have always been the ones who have come up with workarounds. When maybe a piece of equipment wasn't working properly, we might figure out a way to help that piece of equipment work properly to obtain the results that we needed. And so now our nursing profession is really just recognizing that we have this skill set and that we need to socialize our next generations of nurses to be innovators and to think like an innovator and to believe that we can do it. And so that is why this course is in the baccalaureate program. This course does a deep dive into innovation. And we look at innovation from two different levels. We look at it from the individual level, where we kind of do our own assessment of what are the knowledge and skills and attributes of an innovator. And then we also, at the end of the course, we look at innovation from the perspective of what are the characteristics and qualities of an innovative organization, and how would you help develop those if you were a nurse leader in that particular organization? Then the modules that are in between, we look at different concepts that relate to helping to advance innovation, such as how do you manage change? How do we use knowledge and informatics to help inform the decisions that we would make in order to advance innovation? What role does emotional intelligence and leadership styles play in advancing innovation? And then last but not least, we also look at interprofessionalism, because most of the time when a broad scale innovation is implemented, it's not the work of a single individual. Instead, it's the work of a team. And so how do we work within teams to advance innovation? This course has several different assignments or types of assignments. And so most of our assignments really focus on helping you apply the concepts. And so discussion, short papers, as well as the case scenario or application style assignments. And so we're really looking at how can you apply those concepts to either your current practice as a registered nurse or your future practice as a registered nurse. And then we have a couple of assignments where it really is just simply that we are looking at an assessment of your knowledge. And so those assignments include the certificate assignments as well as the self-assessments. We use a self-paced learning schedule in this course. And I should rephrase that and say we offer you the opportunity to use a self-paced learning approach in this course. And by that, what we mean is that you can determine how fast or how slow within reason that you want to complete the course assignments. And so you determine kind of when you complete the assignments. We also give students the option if they prefer to use a traditional paced learning approach. That's probably what most of you are familiar with, where maybe on a weekly basis you have assignments due. Some students really want to choose to use a combination of those two approaches. Sometimes they like to complete assignments on a weekly basis. Other times they might have a busy week and realize that, this week I really can't complete anything, but I can make up for it next week. And so then they're using some of the principles of self-paced learning. The one key with either approach is that you need to make sure that you're completing the assignments by what we call the completion benchmarks or the due dates. And you'll find out when those due dates are in two different places. One is in the course schedule. And you'll also see two different scenarios. One is a schedule that uses a self-paced learning approach. And the other schedule that you'll see is a schedule that utilizes the traditional paced learning approach. And again, you can choose either schedule that you wish. terms of course logistics, I am the course coordinator, and in that capacity, I'm responsible for the overall organization, management, and implementation of this course. And so I work with the grading faculty, and I'm also a grading faculty for a section, to make sure that we are consistent in our approach to grading. And then I'm also a resource for you all as students. And so in that regard, what I ask is that if you have a concern, that your first step is always going to be to go to your grading faculty first and give them the opportunity to work with you to resolve the concern. And if that doesn't happen to your satisfaction, then you can reach out to me as course coordinator, and I will try to facilitate resolution. The other thing we have in terms of course logistics is a community forum, and I'm sure you're all familiar with that. But just as a recap, the community forum is the great place to go and post questions that are more of a general nature. That think of, if you have the question, if something's not clear in the course, then probably someone else has the question too. I monitor that community forum Monday through Friday, and my goal is to post a response to your questions as soon as possible. The other thing I'll put out there is that you are free to respond to your peers' questions in community forum as well. And a lot of times you guys are super quick at responding to each other's questions and helping each other out. And so please feel free to do that as well. In regards to grading expectations and what can you expect from us as course faculty, each faculty is asked to complete grading on a weekly basis. And I do ask that if you submit an assignment and if for some reason you don't receive feedback on that assignment within 2 weeks, if you would reach out to me and let me know so that I can follow up with the grading faculty and do my best to get you timely feedback, because that's critical for this course. A few tips for success in the course. The first is communication. You know, sometimes life happens and it throws you some curves that you aren't expecting that may impact your ability to complete an assignment on time. If you can see that happening in advance, reach out to your grading faculty and let them know. And if you need to request an extension, try to do that in advance. Sometimes the curves that life throws us don't give us advance notice, and we know that as well. So then in those types of situations, the key would be to communicate with your faculty as soon as possible and just let them know that, you know, if you're experiencing some type of a extenuating circumstance, and then they will do their best to work with you. The one caveat that I need to put out is that, you know, we will do our best to work with you. However, sometimes if we're at, say, towards the end of a session, that we may not have much latitude in terms of trying to grant an extension for an assignment, just because we have specific due dates that we need to meet as course faculty in regards to posting final grades and things. But nonetheless, no, we will always do our best to try to work with you and help you, because our goal is for you to be successful in this course. The second tip for success is that I'd like you to review feedback that's left by your faculty. And the feedback will be left in one of two ways. If it's a paper, sometimes faculty will actually include some suggestions or comments within the context of the paper. And so you can see that within Canvas. The other way faculty leave you feedback is in the rubric itself. And so sometimes you may see that for a particular criterion, you may not have earned full points. And then you may see that the faculty member left you a comment as to maybe what they would have liked to have seen more of, or maybe if you were missing part of the criterion, and they'll help identify that for you. The other ask in regards to feedback is that please use that feedback. That is rich information to help you enhance all of your future subsequent submissions for this course. The other tip for success is questions. If you have a question, please ask. Please let us answer the questions and help make things clearer for you. I always kind of think that if one person has a question, there's probably other people who have the same question who just haven't brought it forth yet. So please do know if it's a general question, like we said, community forum is a great place. If it's a more time sensitive question, go to your grading faculty or go to me. And certainly if it's a more question of a more personal nature, always start with your grading faculty first. And then if they're unable to assist you, then you can reach out to me and I'll do my best to kind of loop us all into the conversation. And then the last tip is you want to schedule time to complete the assignment. So each of you knows what your schedules look like for the coming weeks. But what I've seen in this course, especially since we've tried the self-paced learning approach, is that sometimes students think, and I have to admit, I've been there too at times where I think, oh, I'm going to have so much more time to do that in the following week. And so I don't block time regularly to do things that I need to do. And so my advice to you all, and what I seriously encourage you to do, is just schedule some time each week that you can dedicate to this course. And then that way, what you'll find is that you're able to progress at a very comfortable pace, and that you will be successful in getting in your assignments on time. So thank you for taking a few minutes to listen to this course tour video. Please know that we are here to help facilitate your learning, and please contact us if you have any questions. Thank you, and I hope you guys have a great day.